Welcome to The Legends Within, the podcast where we explore hidden stories from undiscovered authors. Today, we begin an epic journey into the elements of the legend, the first book in a thrilling trilogy written by Mark Pleizier. In this series, we'll unravel the mysteries of ancient elements, hidden kingdoms, and the forces that bind them all together.
All right, let's dive into this Legend of the Elements series.
Okay.
It seems like it's really captured everyone's imagination, and we're going to try to figure out why that is.
Yeah.
You guys have shared some excerpts with us from the first book, The Hidden Kingdom, and so that's what we're going to be focusing on today.
Sounds good.
So
It's a great choice, I think,
Yeah.
for a deep dive. The first book really sets the stage for a series to
Yeah.
kind of explore its bigger themes.
yeah, and I think so this story starts off in a seemingly normal setting, a school camp.
Right.
But as we quickly discover, this is not an ordinary camp at all.
No.
There's this whole hidden magical kingdom within the woods,
Huh.
complete with talking spirits and ancient legends.
Yeah. What do you think about this familiar yet fantastical opening?
I think it's it's a clever way to draw readers in.
Yeah.
We start in this relatable setting, like a school camp,
Right.
that immediately kind of grounds the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then by introducing these fantastical elements, Pleizier really creates a sense of contrast that heightens that magic.
Yeah. It's like stepping through a wardrobe into Narnia.
Yeah,
But instead of a wardrobe, it's
Right.
just a regular old forest.
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of forests, chapter 1 really sets the scene. We're introduced to this group of kids,
Yeah.
Lucas, Tim, Sam, Jens, and Sarah,
Okay.
each with their own distinct personalities. I'm already intrigued by their dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas is the adventurous one. Tim's more cautious. Jens brings the humor. Sam's more of an observer. And Sarah brings this thoughtful curiosity
Yeah.
to the group.
That's a pretty classic team dynamic, right?
I think so.
You've got that balance of personalities that kind of hints at, both cooperation and potential conflict.
Yeah,
It makes you wonder how these differences will play out as they venture deeper into this magical world.
for sure.
And don't forget, this is a coming-of-age story.
Right.
So these individual traits, are likely to be tested and transformed as they face challenges together.
Absolutely. And their teacher, Mr. DeWitt, acts as this catalyst
Right.
for their adventure.
Yeah.
He's the one who shares the local legend of this lost kingdom and this powerful magical fire hidden within the woods.
Mm.
He's almost like a Gandalf figure guiding them toward their destiny.
Yeah, it is interesting, though, that Mr. DeWitt isn't just a storyteller.
Okay.
He's also a representation of the passing down of knowledge.
Yeah.
He has this old journal filled with clues,
Right.
this tangible link to the past that the kids inherit.
Okay.
This makes me think about how our understanding of history, whether it's personal or societal, shapes our choices in the present.
Okay.
It's as if Pleizier is subtly asking, how much are we influenced by the legacies we inherit?
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It adds a whole other layer to Mr. DeWitt's role.
Yeah.
He's not just a guide for these kids. He's a symbol of how the past informs the present.
Exactly. And that theme of connection to the past
Mhm.
becomes even more pronounced when the kids discover that journal.
Right.
It's not just a plot device to move the story forward.
Right.
It's a physical manifestation of history shaping the present.
Wow.
Makes you wonder what's in your metaphorical journal,
Uh-huh.
What stories from your past are shaping your journey today?
That is a really thought-provoking question. I'm going to have to ponder that one.
Yeah.
But getting back to the story, the journal sends the kids on this quest
Yeah.
to find this magical fire, leading them deeper into the woods
Mm-hmm.
and into a series of challenges.
Yeah.
They have to decipher clues,
Right.
navigate tricky terrain, and overcome their own fears and doubts.
And those challenges are crucial for character development, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure.
It's like a classic trope of the coming-of-age story,
Right,
facing external obstacles that mirror internal struggles.
right.
Each challenge they overcome strengthens their bond as a group
Yeah.
and reveals their individual strengths and weaknesses.
Totally agree. You can already see their individual personalities kind of clashing and complementing each other. Lucas dives headfirst into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Tim analyzes every risk.
Right.
Sarah's quiet observations prove insightful.
Mm-hmm.
And Jens keeps the mood light, even when things get tense.
Yeah.
They're learning to rely on each other,
Right.
which is a key element of any good adventure story.
And it's not just about learning to rely on each other.
Okay.
It's about learning to trust their own instincts and abilities.
Okay.
Remember that scene where they have to cross a rushing stream?
Yes.
Lucas wants to just jump right in.
Yeah.
Tim's paralyzed by fear. But it's Sarah who calmly assesses the situation and finds a safe way across.
You're right. That's a great example of how Pleizier subverts expectations.
Yeah.
You might expect the adventurous one to lead the way, but it's Sarah's quiet observation and careful planning that saves the day.
Right.
It's a subtle reminder that courage comes in many forms.
And that's what makes this story so compelling.
Yeah.
It's playing with those classic fantasy tropes while also adding layers of complexity to both the characters and the themes.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding a magical fire. It's about the journey of self-discovery.
Right.
And learning to navigate the world with both caution and courage.
I love that.
Yeah.
And just when the kids start to doubt themselves, they discover this shining bowl,
Okay.
emanating warmth,
Yeah.
possibly linked to the magical fire. It's like this beacon of hope, a sign that they're on the right track.
Yeah.
But of course, in good fantasy fashion, things aren't always what they seem.
Of course not. That's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore the nature of the magical fire, the dangers it presents,
Okay.
and what it reveals about the balance of power in this world.
Sounds good.
We'll also delve into the symbolism of fire in mythology and literature,
Okay.
and what Pleizier might be suggesting through his unique interpretation.
All right, I'm excited for part 2.
Me too. So we left off with the kids finding that shining bowl,
Right.
like a potential clue to the magical fire.
Yeah.
It's like a breadcrumb trail leading them deeper and deeper into this mysterious world, and maybe even confronting their assumptions about what the fire represents.
Yeah, you're right, because when they finally find the fire in chapter 5, it's not what they, or maybe even us as readers, expected. It's not just a source of heat or light. It's something much greater and more powerful.
Right.
It reveals visions of the past, almost like a living history book.
That is a fascinating twist on the typical magical artifact trope.
Yeah.
It's not just about the fire's physical properties. It's about the knowledge and the history it holds.
Yeah.
Fire becomes the symbol of memory,
Okay.
a way to connect with the past and understand the present.
And the visions they see are pretty intense.
Right.
There are glimpses of this joyful, vibrant kingdom, but also scenes of this devastating war.
Wow.
With fire being used as a weapon of destruction.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that power in any form can be used for both good and evil.
It really makes you think about the duality of fire, doesn't it? In mythology and literature, fire represents both creation and destruction.
Right.
It's a primal force, both life-giving and incredibly dangerous.
Right.
I think Pleizier is tapping into that primal fear, but he's also linking fire to knowledge.
Okay.
It's like he's suggesting that true understanding requires confronting the darker aspects of power.
That's a powerful insight.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding the fire.
Yeah.
It's about understanding its potential and respecting its power.
Right.
And that idea of respect becomes even more important when they meet the guardians of the fire.
Oh, yeah.
In chapter 7, these beings are intimidating, to say the least.
Yeah, the Guardians are really fascinating.
Yeah.
They embody the fire's power and wisdom,
Right.
but they're also fiercely protective of it.
Yeah.
They represent the responsibility that comes with knowledge
Right.
and the dangers of wielding power without understanding.
Yeah, and they don't just give the kids the answers.
No, they don't.
They challenge them, test them,
Right.
and push them to prove they're worthy of even approaching the fire.
Yeah, it's like a classic apprenticeship,
Yeah.
but with much higher stakes.
Right.
It almost feels like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You know, the Guardians are initiating the kids into this world of ancient knowledge and power.
Right.
But that initiation comes with challenges and a heavy dose of responsibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
It raises the question for us, what tests have we faced in our own lives that have prepared us for wielding knowledge or power?
That's a great question.
I think we all have those moments where we're challenged to step up,
Yeah.
to prove ourselves worthy of the knowledge or opportunities that come our way.
Absolutely. And those moments often shape who we become.
Yeah.
Just like the kids are being shaped by their encounters with the Guardians
Right.
and the fire itself.
Right. And speaking of shaping their journey, takes them to the ruins of an ancient city in chapter 8.
Oh, wow.
It's like stepping back in time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Exploring the remnants of a lost civilization. What do you make of this exploration of the past?
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant way to deepen the world building.
Yeah.
And add another layer to the story's themes by exploring these ruins. The kids are literally uncovering the history of this magical world.
Yeah.
They're learning about the people who came before them, their triumphs and failures, their struggles against the darkness.
And it's not just a passive exploration.
No, it's not.
They're actively piecing together clues, deciphering inscriptions, and trying to understand how this ancient civilization connected to the magical fire. And the forces at play in the present.
Exactly. It's like an archaeological dig, but with much higher stakes. They're not just uncovering artifacts. They're uncovering knowledge that could be crucial to their survival.
It's like Pleizier is reminding us that history isn't just a collection of dusty facts. It's a living force.
It is.
That shapes our understanding of the world.
For sure.
And that understanding becomes even more vital when they discover a prophecy in chapter 9.
Oh.
This prophecy warns of the darkness returning.
Okay.
And suggests that only those who understand the true power of the elements can defeat it.
Wow.
It's like a classic call to action.
Yeah.
Setting the stage for the final confrontation.
The prophecy adds this layer of urgency and purpose to their journey. They're no longer just exploring or learning. They're preparing for a battle against this formidable foe. It's a reminder that knowledge without action is incomplete. And that sometimes we're called upon to use what we've learned to make a difference in the world.
And they definitely need to use everything they've learned.
Yes.
Because in the final chapters of the Hidden Kingdom, they face their first real test against the forces of darkness. It's a thrilling climax that puts all their skills and knowledge to the test.
It's the culmination of their journey so far.
They faced physical challenges, deciphered clues, confronted their own fears.
Learned from wise, if somewhat intimidating mentors. Now they have to put all those lessons into practice and prove they're worthy of the responsibility that's been thrust upon them.
And they do rise to the occasion.
They do.
They use their combined knowledge of the elements, fire, water, earth, and air, to create this powerful force that repels the darkness, at least for now.
Wow.
It's a hard-won victory, but they know it's just the beginning of a much larger fight.
That's what makes this ending so satisfying. It provides a sense of closure for this particular adventure, but it also opens the door to a larger narrative.
For sure.
They've proven themselves capable. But the darkness is still out there lurking in the shadows. Makes you wonder what challenges they'll face next, how they'll continue to grow and learn as they confront the forces that threaten this magical world.
And as they stand together overlooking the landscape, they've just defended. You can see the determination in their eyes. They're not just kids on a school trip anymore. They're guardians, protectors, the first line of defense against this encroaching darkness.
And that's a powerful message for us as readers, isn't it?
It is.
It's a reminder that we all have the potential to be guardians. To stand up for what we believe in and to protect the things we hold dear.
It's a message that resonates deeply, especially in a world that often feels uncertain and complex. It gives us hope, knowing that even in the face of darkness, courage and knowledge can make a difference.
And that's what makes the Hidden Kingdom and the entire Legend of the Elements series so compelling. It's not just about escaping into a world of magic and adventure. It's about finding inspiration and hope in the stories we tell ourselves and each other.
I couldn't have said it better myself. But before we wrap up our deep dive, I have one last question for you. If you were to step into this magical world, what element would you choose to master? And how would you use your powers to protect this world from the encroaching darkness? It really makes you think,
It does. It speaks to the enduring power of fantasy, I think. You know, lets us explore these big questions, but in a safe space, a space where we can use our imagination. But the thing is, the impact of those questions can really ripple outward and influence how we see our own world.
It's true. And speaking of choices, you know, those final chapters of the Hidden Kingdom, the kids face a really critical decision. They've successfully repelled that immediate threat. But they realize that the darkness is this persistent force. They're going to need to continue fighting.
And that realization, I think, marks a turning point for them.
Yeah.
It's the transition from just reacting to a crisis to proactively preparing for future challenges.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding the magical fire anymore. It's about understanding their role as guardians of this world.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that sense of guardianship is really beautifully illustrated.
Yeah.
In those closing scenes. They stand together looking out over the landscape, and you can almost feel that weight of responsibility on their young shoulders.
But there's also hope there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And determination to face whatever comes next.
It's subtle, but it's a really powerful shift, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
They've gone from this, wide-eyed wonder to a deeper understanding of what it means to be connected to this magical world.
Right.
They've learned that protecting something precious often requires sacrifice.
Right.
And a willingness to confront difficult truths.
It really makes you wonder, what will they sacrifice?
Yeah.
What truths will they uncover in the books to come? It's such a classic cliffhanger.
It
leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
But it also, prompts reflection on our own lives.
Right.
What are we willing to sacrifice to protect the things we care about?
Yeah. What truths are we grappling with?
That's the beauty of a well-crafted story.
Okay.
It stays with you long after you've finished reading.
It really does. The Hidden Kingdom has given us so much to think about. The power of history, the responsibility that comes with knowledge, the interconnectedness of all things.
And it's reminded us of the power of imagination.
Yes.
The importance of facing our fears.
Right.
And that enduring strength of hope.
It's a story that will stay with me.
Me too.
And I bet with you as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
As we conclude this deep dive into the Hidden Kingdom, we'll leave you with a final thought.
Yeah.
What magical spark will you carry with you? What adventures await in your own hidden kingdom?
Hosted by Ethan Cole and Mira Blake. Join us as we dive into Book One and uncover the secrets that lie within. Thank you for joining us on The Legends Within. We had just scratched the surface of the elements of the legend, Book One in this captivating trilogy by Mark Pleizier. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we dive even deeper into the mysteries and magic that await in this unforgettable journey. Until next time, keep the legend alive,